Welcome to the 2010 A Mini Album a Month class. We will begin by die cutting our own pages to create the album. Here is the die cut that I will be using. It is the Sugar Plum die cut page insert. And first what we need to do is you're going to need to pull out the plates for your die cut machine. I'm using the Cuttlebug, so I need my A plate, then I need a B plate, and then I'm going to put a piece of paper on here. I've cut it to about 3 inches wide. And I straighten that up. And then I go ahead and put on the die cut on top of it. And then I'm going to put a final plate on. This is plate C. Okay. I just put it into my machine a little bit and then I start cranking. Once I get it in a little bit, I hold it down and finish cranking it. Now mine cracks and makes noises a little bit, but is working and it doesn't ruin my plates. You'll notice my plates are quite cut up. That's fine. You can flip them and use them a lot of different ways. Now the die cut will come out with the die on top of it, and that's fine. You just push it through to pop it out. And if the holes don't pop out, just use your finger or a paper piecer to poke those holes all the way through. This is what your page looks like when it's done die cutting. It's really easy to do. Now we're going to create the inner pages of our album, and I've gathered all the materials to do that. I have my brown die cut that I've already cut. This is Jen's digital page that I've added my phone numbers to. This is the pattern paper that I've cut and inked with brown ink. A glitter chipboard letter, a bit of twine, it doesn't matter the length. I've pre-stamped the Thinking of You border. And now I've got to find the little tag I created. There it is. There's the little tag. I've stamped the letter and I've stamped a little fleur-de-lis on it. Okay, we'll start with the back side and you add the adhesive to your die cut tag, the one with the phone numbers on it, and you place that on the back of your page. Okay, then flip over the page and we're going to add adhesive this time to the pattern paper square. And you place that down on the page. Okay, now I want a scallop edge to go with my Thinking of You border. And so I have a sheet of craft paper and I'm going to use a scallop border punch to create this border. Okay, I always place my cardstock in the back of the machine, meaning I turn over the machine. I like to see that the pattern paper or the cardstock lines up right on the edge, right there. And then I punch. And then I flip over the cardstock and you'll notice a pattern on the front. I line up my punched edges. This punch has 3 in the pattern. And I punch again, pull it to the left 3 more, punch again, and continue doing this until you hit the end of your cardstock or your pattern paper. And there I have it. I have a long border. Now I didn't quite cut it to the edge, and I like to trim mine this way. Some people pre-cut theirs. I like to have my cardstock a little longer. So I just use my paper trimmer and I trim up the edges. Then I can use a pair of scissors to trim off the excess. And there I have my border. Now I want to add some brown stamping ink to the edge of this. I've inked up pretty much everything on this project, so I just take my ink pad and I just ink the whole entire length of the piece of paper. I prefer brown ink. It looks aged, and so I usually keep this ink on my desk. So then I add adhesive to the back of the Thinking of You border. And then a good trick is to always center the scallops so the scallops look the same from the left to the right, and then I trim off the excess again. When I have something that's a little heavier, I usually like to add glue dots. So I'm adding some large glue dots to this. You can see them on the back. And then I add this to the bottom of the page. Okay, now we're going to create the S. I take the little tag that I've already stamped. This is the punch that I've used. It's actually from Stampin' Up. But you can actually use a die cut machine and pre-cut a bunch of tags for this project. That would make the project go quickly. Thread the twine through the tag and then tie it in a knot onto the letter. Now each stamped tag should have the corresponding letter for the letter that you're using in your phone book. And then you just knot the edges. I like to keep my lengths long because my fingers are not skinny and it's just easier to work with longer lengths of string. I just trim off the excess with a pair of scissors. Then to adhere chipboard, I almost always use glue dots. They're stronger and they hold the adhesive a little better. If they're big glue dots, I just fold them to the bottom edge and then I just place it down. Okay, and there you have it. There's the S page, and that's how I created the front and back of every page in my album.